All right, all right. Okay, so been a couple days. Had other stuff. The deal was this was supposed to be for someone that they backed out. But I'm just gonna go ahead and finish writing it anyway. I mean, like I'm just gonna wing some type of it's halfway done and then call it done as soon as it's almost there. I don't have to polish it up or anything. Oop. No. Okay, I'm all set. What was that? T. Oh, right, yeah. Here's T. No, somewhere. So I don't remember where we're at. So I've got it so that it grays. The actual functions down here needs a better spot, but it's grayed out until hopefully it's supposed to be grayed out until there's both input and outputs and cameras and all the stuff set up. So we'll add a the input directory needs to be here. That's the output directory. Desktop will be the bucket. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to organize it. I haven't really put any boxes yet. Have a box. Where's the panel? Okay. Let's have a box. And we'll do things better here. Layout equals so kill rows here. Box equals layout box. We're gonna put the menu in a header. I always forget whether it's draw header or header draw. Let's just do, and then we'll have to flip it maybe. So we'll just have this here. Or now we can just copy this as it is. Delete it. Put it here. Yeah, okay. And the box is going to get stuff in it. So wherever I want to put, maybe all this stuff I'll put in a box. And then we'll see what that looks like. Okay. So if something's not, it's header draw header. Maybe. One of them. Yeah, okay. So we have a menu up here. And you can even see it when you're not using it. So blah blah blah. Input and output are switched still, but at least they're all in a box. They need to be in different boxes now. That was the here's that. Keep that variable out of the way. We have a box in a box. Let's put the output in the second one. And the input ders in the add dir for what? Is that an input dir or an output dir? I believe it is an input dir. So they need to be relabeled. Let's put all this up in this box here. Box is going to get addr, remdir, and 𝓲𝓲𝓿𝓮𝓬𝓸𝓭𝓲𝓷𝓰. And then input dirs. So addr and remdir. Addr. Doesn't have to change too much. And well, we'll jump back up here and get this one too. Don't really have to jump. I mean, this isn't referenced anywhere else but here, so that's good. And okay, so we'll go ahead and do this just to double check. That's the only place it exists. And there, and we'll just jump back and forth between these two. And we're all good. We should be all set up, at least for those functions. Back to where I was. Now, the box, the input there, this is the input box, so let's label it input. Let's call them folders here, just for fun. Oh, and it's got to be text equals. Yeah, you used to be able to get away with just saying some string as the only argument. Now you have to say text. Okay, these guys might need labels and icons to shrink them to their sizes. Let's do, I mean, I forget that it's the plus. Is it just plus? Let's try that. It's a plus. Input folders, and the output got its own little box. Maybe I'll just call it input. Input, and then output. We'll fix it up later, but at least it's organized better. Now we need another box. You need to stop doing self layout and stick with layout everywhere too. Change 3 words. It's just going to be box from here on out. We'll get them into a box. Okay. Everywhere it looks like we need a box, we'll just put one. Uh-oh. Need that. Yeah. Okay. What did we do? Did we break it yet? Box. 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 Select one. Another box. Okay, cool. Not as informative as I would like, but hey. Input is up here. Multiple ones. We need the plus. We don't have an icon yet there. Let's try minus if it's gonna. I swear it's probably not minus. Their fucking icon names suck. No. Okay. Plus, and then what? Oh, great. Not found. Okay, here's plus. There's no. Let's see what it's. X. Well, we have to use an X instead of a minus. Let's just use that X. Yes, this. Alright. Okay. Let's get that icon. Icon viewer. Minus. See, it's right here next to it. Plus. Is this plus? No, that's add. This is this plus. What's the minus one for this? Does it even have a circle with a minus? There's a circle with nothing. There's a. Okay, so I'll just do plus, add, remove. Okay, cool. Fine. Cool. Now, sort of the standard thing on directories here. I don't usually do this, but let's just do this. Split. Is this, wait. Oh gosh, they've changed it. I'll just call it well, it's been a while. If it doesn't work, we'll go look it up. A little yell at us when we say the wrong thing, so we'll just say wrong thing. What's the wrong thing? Oh, right. Change surrounding word to have strings on. Wait. Okay, factor. Factor equals 0.82. Call was split. And we'll do one again. No, the template list goes here. Okay, let's try this. Let's see. Let's go look and see how they did it. It's not quite the same. You stretch it out all the, let's see, stretch it out. Yeah, clearly they're using a different number than we are. Let's try 0.92. Or wait, what was that? 8.2? I'm gonna try 8.8. I'm gonna take the text off of both of these, because we know what they're for. Okay, so it's getting a little bit more into shape. See what I mean? You know, Alright. They're still a little bit ugly compared to whatever's happening over here, where they don't stretch like that. But I think it'll work. Why do what is that, I wonder? Maybe it's, this is a, split column, okay. Changing my mind, okay. I'm gonna just do column, row, operator. See what that does. Yeah. except for they stick to that side instead of. Well, this side sticks. It just sticks different. Look. I don't know. What would that? Correct. Well, I guess if I wanted to go read their thing, but for here, this looks all right. Let's try the input. Let's put a directory. What is this showing me here? If I have it selected, it's making a box. Selected path, output, input. Oh, I just don't have any outputs. Yeah. I don't have a selected path is down here. What kind of a path? Where is this? If the active, those are only input dirs. So you need your name changed again. And okay, so these are fake. This is theoretically okay, so it's not grayed out. Do that. Now I go read what it says. It says da da da. It's got some information. Let's see if it seems to be working over there. Never did set up any of that stuff. That's the more ambitious version that comes and goes depending on, I don't know, the weather. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I remember where I was at. I was messing with those, deciding whether to use a database to like, well, it's just gonna have to store a little bit of data, and when it runs sub processes, you can pass in you know, like your temp, you make a little temporary, you create a temp file, save your data to it, you run the sub process. Each launch just looks and reads the data out of this little file to know what to do. And yeah. so you know, it's either a blend file, some custom text or byte blob format you make up, or an SQLite database. I probably would do the database. But then it's like, oh god, really? So then there's an in-memory database which you can get away with if you're doing it all in one process. But see, uh, yeah, okay. I guess I can see a way that I would do that and still just pass a little bit at a time to the sub process, like for each job. Read out of your database. But the problem still is if anything crashes during, you do it in a sub process so that if something crashes, you can go on. If you do it in your main thread or your main active, like your Blender that you have open, all happening inside of Blender, uh, rendering a bunch of objects, you never know what you're going to get, especially just throwing in like a random build directory with paths. So you know, even in general, if it wasn't Blender and you were just making up something that was going to be like a large file operation, you start thinking about things like the buffer size of your commands and the maximum amount of things that can go on a list to your operating system, like your handles may may even be run out. So like for instance, doing I don't know, sometimes people are like, why isn't the such and such exist? Drag and drop, for instance. Um, and it might be that, now don't quote me on this, but like you can go up to 20 of them without errors, but then you discover that you have to use a different API to go above that number. Certain number of files can be dropped, but if you're trying to do like 30,000 or 300,000 files, just in the Windows interface, the Explorer, trying to drag them around and to get that list to a program. Even just making like a batch file receive that much data, uh, it has to go somewhere like temp memory. And if if the system is made super super robust, where it just takes a little bit at a time, puts it on its own database, and then goes on to the next bit, and then goes back through its own database a little bit at a time, let the database kind of handle the complex operations. You can make it deal with a lot more things. So I'm just saying, like, if you want to have a like, the purpose of this thing would be, if we have some folders, we pick here a place where some blend files are, and we pick a folder we want to render. The output is the images, input blends, output images. I should probably label this just as I'm talking it out. Input is going to be images. I'll parentheses properly. And then the output is going to be, what the fuck, I'm backwards here. Directories containing blend files. But we'll just say blends. And then output will be images. Yeah, okay. Want an icon? Want some text? Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Is that an icon? We'll never know till we run it and it bitches at us and says no or yes. It's not looking good, is it? Yeah, wait. Is that it? Or is that it? There it is. I don't know. We'll take it off and see. Ding, ding, ding. Huh. Yeah, we don't need that. We'll just, yeah, we'll put something there though. Something. File is image a thing? Yeah. Foo. What if I just typed foo? Would that work? Let's break it and let's have a blank directory. Still work. Still prints the same amount of crap basically too. 6 cameras. False, false. What is that? What does that mean? Here's our operator. The length of the camera input DIRs is greater than 0. False. The length of the cameras is greater than 0. false. Camera. Oh, this is the poll, not what we're printing. Camera count is the printed. Oh, wait, print. The output dir is nothing. Stop it. Print less stuff like that. Who else was printing? Let's find out. Nobody yet. So it won't let us do anything until we make at least something and yada 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 yada. Desktop. That should be the default. Let's have a default here. This operator is calling. Ooh, wait. Yeah. Okay. Camera. That's not it. These are gonna have to get out of here. These have to go. Like they don't belong. Input dir, camera. That's a cam. Here's an input dir. Okay, you want a default input dir path? Why aren't you just a variable of your own? Input dirs is a whole bunch of them. Oh, I get it. Right. Well then, there's no such thing as a default for you, buddy. Okay. What about the output dir? There you go. How about you have a default equals, go on, get our whole line here. That's all you got? Okay, then forget it. Back to your line there. Okay. Just make a little variable here called desk. Oops. Right here. Desk equals path lib. We have path lib. Good. Path. Oops. Home slash desktop. And we need to convert it to a string. So we'll wrap it up. Does that work? Yeah, but there's desktop. See, I don't have to pick that one at least. Okay, so here. I need to make it a more robust search where it actually searches through and says, are they good? But for this time, for this case, we'll just say pick it. Say accept. And it will show you, it needs to actually show the proper thing here. The name of the thing is just, we need one called, no. Okay, path and the name. So look at the guy who's doing the UL for dirs here. This is an input dir. Oops, what did I do? Okay. When you draw your item, you draw the path, don't you? Okay. Why not just draw the name? And I'll think about that later. Okay, so name the input dir. will be a property. And I don't know whether I should do what kind of property. Okay, string property get equals 𝓛𝓲𝓿𝓮𝓬𝓸𝓭𝓲𝓷𝓰. No. Name path name path. Okay. Think that'll work? See, it won't let us do anything there, though. If it tries to let us rename it, which it will, then is it better than it showing us the... Oh, let's try it. The input dir is selectedable somewhere, I think. Let's go up. No, it is not. And the double click part doesn't work anymore either because, well, I guess so. But it's definitely lost out on some functionality here. Path text emboss equals false. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just label it. Wait. Now. Yeah. Well, we still need the thing where you actually... It is better to have the double clicker. You don't get to see it right. Yeah, that's better that way. Okay, it's just not the selected one, it just sucks. What next? What next? Okay, so it's not printing all that other stuff. False, false, twice. I guess that took out both the falses. Let's get back here. This. Oh yeah, if that's the active inputter, Why isn't it showing it? This. Need to see that. Down here. Why is it showing it down here? That's the problem. Okay, what do we get? What's this icon? Okay. Well, who cares? How about there? Yeah, that needs to be a better. Okay. Put that icon. This box. Okay. Cameras. Trying to think of with it. Okay, what if the policies or whatever whatchamacallums of like what to do were attached to the camera? So instead of this being on the seeing the screen, the window manager, such and such objects, the camera object had the policy. And if you were selecting, oh, and I forgot that I could how to make the camera here, select it as the top, now duplicate it, go to the bottom, make it as the bottom. Wait, we gotta, and yeah, and then make it as that one. What do we got here? Oh. Go back. Choose the other one. So it's supposed to select. Oh, they're not even. Well, the top one and the bottom are. Oh, okay. Go to the bottom. Where's the dang? What are you fucking doing here? That's the top. Get on here. It's your top view. With a bad policy, of course. Geez. Go back. There. That's what we want. Something like that. The policy needs to be like. Okay, so picture an object like this. Let's give it some subdivisions. let's say we had like some part sticking out here and some part like like a little bit of bulk. And now where's the center of this object? Well, it could even be, oops, well, yeah, we're gonna select all the stuff, put it somewhere. Say, okay, there's the center of our object. Like we rotate it, it goes around that point. Could be better. I mean, this would make more sense, right? Let's say we were thinking, so we've also got center of mass. Like putting that center point right there. But at any rate, we also have center of mass volume. I don't know what the difference of this all is. This looks a little bit closer to the one I would have picked. But let's look at the bounding box. We'll switch to the bounding box center here. And select bounding box. It's still using the object. Cursor to active or selected. There's our selected one. Here's our cursor to active. Cursor to wow. Okay, never mind. There you are. I want the bounding box. Oh, that's of multiple things. Like if I have this and this. As opposed to with the same thing. But I don't know. Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, if I ask this thing for its center, and I also get this bounding box, which is, we could do that in Sphere Shock real quick. You want to like see, I guess, but it's gonna give me some coordinates like 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side, it's gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8. Like loop, 2 squares. It's just like you're just talking about a box, and the points on the box going down probably one of these axes, like here or there. You're just thinking of like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Same square, rectangle, whatever. The center would be like somewhere in here of that box. Like here's that. If I tell it I want move the cursor to origin to the geometry, it does a better job of averaging the actual geometry, but like somehow bounding box is not putting the cursor where I was expecting. If you try to fit the camera to this and say here, from this angle or whatever, and I go by the bounding box, it might like, seems like it might have me looking at, like it might center the camera here, and that might not be what I want. There's nothing there. Like I need to be zoomed out far enough, but if some objects would just put you so far out that you couldn't see it, so you have to always know to adjust your clipping. But the easy calculation naive algorithm isn't going to take all that geometry. You're just going to be looking at, like, think of this in 2 dimensions. Like here's the thing. You're going to find the bounding box by going and then you're gonna be like, we average all these together, we end up right here. Well, that, see, I crisscrossed somewhere like kind of wrong, but it would be more like in here. So we put this guy here, and then we say scale this to the get it, see, and from our camera, then we just say, okay, this is our this becomes right here. Dang it. This circle that I'm indicating becomes your what you're basing your calculations off of. You have your camera has let's have a display on the camera, say some no, not depth of field, viewport display the limits, and so our end, we need to make sure that our end clip is just past the circle, that our clip start is not, you know, too far. We don't want to have it in here, so we need to make sure that it's outside of here. So we'll put that right around there. And we're not really going to do depth of field here, but if we were, we would want to make sure that we adjusted this to be on some geometry, hopefully, of the majority of it. Like that would be the best place there. Cameras can have shift applied, which would make this slightly more tricky question. What happens if we're shifting this way or that? So we're not even gonna worry about that one yet. But so yeah, next thing is, this is the focal length that we need to, so we have to adjust this focal length till we see our right stuff. But our policy would be like, wait, this is pretty distorted. Like some people might not want really short or really, yeah, short would be the more, these are kind of distorty if you like this, because get way in there, or get where you can see it. Is it moving? Yeah, see, the clipping planes are now the problem. But so, right, so in order to come up with a way to fit a camera to an object reliably, you need to know, like, sometimes maybe there's need to have like more than one method for determining where the center of the object is and what are the boundaries of it. And it always also comes in, like, you have to ask that each angle. Like when you look at the object from the side, like we're drawing this box, like and from the top, where's that, where even is that box? Okay, so so like my bounding box is here from this side, from the top. It's like down there from the side. The other side, it's like right in there. I guess you look at it from those three angles and you eventually get the right place, right? But yeah, so and also like weird angles, like if someone wants to have good, they want it to do isometric, orthographic I should say, and then so they switch to orthographic, that's still not quite isometric. Like if I put my camera here and get everything adjusted so I can see it, So isometric would actually have to well, definitely don't have that enabled. So it needs like a like lattice, I guess, applied to everything. I'll show you what I can say if I have two things. I'll make a lattice at the center of the world. That a lattice. We'll focus in on this lattice for a minute. So this the basic lattice, 2 by 2 by 2. I'm gonna just do linear, linear, linear. I don't really care about the outside, but we're only using an outside, so we're just gonna take the top. See, that's them. I'm gonna move them like this. I mean, we could actually pick a better spot. There's other ways, but this is just the example. So anything I attach to this lattice, a lattice modifier, and use that lattice. Get this guy a lattice. Here you go, Mr. Have a lattice. What is it? Deform with lattice. Choose the lattice. And then, so we'll look at these guys on the top. So this is a top view now. One of them has been, you know, like, so if you want to do a certain type of orthograph, this is still not isometric. We would be rotating the camera by 45 degrees this way. Or well, there are other ways. You can also decide just to squish things. Say I don't want to look at, let's say I'll just look at them from whatever angle. I don't want them slanted off, and see how this is slanted. And it's also, look, the way this is positioned, it needs to be fit with the yeah, lattices. It's tricky to say how and where you would put this lattice for every single object in the scene. I mean, it's not something I want to think about right now for the purposes of an example when I'm coding. But like, yeah, so there are some steps that a full featured, like, if you want to just have the camera be a policy of, well, this one takes these kind of pictures, depending on that, what these kind of pictures are, like, it could be pretty tough to put the camera in just the right place and do maybe the lattice to everything on the scene. So I'm going to skip out on that one and just do basic, like, you set up the camera, you supply the camera, and I will try and move it around back and forth and get the right clip distance. That's going to be my math abilities stretched to their limits already. I mean, it's already kind of ambitious to use quaternions here. Or, wait, I'm not even using. Why are we using them? Not really. Oh, what were these? Init the cams. Okay, so that was when I init the cams. But we didn't use them. If I don't init the cams, I won't have the easy way to do it. I wanted it. Well, anyway, still gonna make an attempt at a feature someday. Maybe not today. My coffee got cold. My brain got cold. Man, I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah. Okay, so maybe next time. Or maybe you'll just have a cigarette. Think about it. Alright. Rev those engines, boy. Someone's out there showing off their engine. Yep, that boy has an engine in his vehicle. Didn't you know? He wants you to know.